Have you ever wondered how a simple like on a photo could actually influence where you go on your next vacation? Well, it's probably not a coincidence. We're about to dive into some really fascinating research that uncovers a hidden digital engine that's constantly shaping our desires, and it suggests that, yeah, in a way, we're all cyborgs.
So the study kicks off with this pretty bold idea, the cyborg consumer. And no, we're not talking about science fiction here. It's really just a metaphor for how we live now, always connected, with our digital and physical worlds just completely blended together.
I mean, let's be honest, it probably does, right? That seamless switch from checking your phone to navigating your day, that's just the new normal. So the big question is, what's really going on under the hood, psychologically speaking? To figure that out, researchers zeroed in on 4 key psychological factors. You can think of these as the building blocks that create the bridge between our online habits and our real-world actions, like booking a flight. Let's break them down.
First up, we've got social media addiction, and this is more than just scrolling a lot. It's a recognized psychological state where your usage becomes compulsive and actually starts messing with your daily life.
And it's not some simple on-off switch. The research points to a whole 6-stage process here. It starts with social media just feeling really important, and it escalates all the way to needing more and more of it to get that same effect. It's a pretty powerful cycle.
The second ingredient is narcissism. Now, in this context, it's really all about that deep-seated drive for admiration and feeling important. The study points out that people with these traits really enjoy posting about themselves, their stories, their photos, their achievements, all over social media. Next, we have self-esteem. This one's pretty simple. It's your personal sense of value. How you feel about yourself deep down. And that feeling is a core driver of our behavior, both online and in the real world.
And finally, our 4th piece of the puzzle, tourism addiction. This one is super fascinating. It's not just about loving to travel. It's a compulsive need to do it, specifically to generate new content for social media and get that sweet validation from likes and comments.
Okay, so we've got these 4 psychological ingredients, but how exactly do they all connect? Well, the researchers didn't just guess. They designed a whole study to map out the relationships between them. So, who did they talk to? The study looked at 214 people, mostly young adults in their early 20s. This really gives us a snapshot of a generation that grew up with social media right at the center of their lives. This is basically a picture of their approach. They built a structural model, which is just a fancy term for a map of cause and effect. They wanted to see if things like narcissism lead to higher self-esteem, and what that self-esteem then drives us to do. So, what did they find? Okay, here it is, the first big finding. The data showed a really clear link that starts with our online behaviors and our personality traits. Specifically, both social media addiction and narcissistic traits had a direct impact on something else. And that something else was self-esteem. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because we hear all the time about the negative side of social media. But this study found that for these people, these behaviors actually gave them a measurable boost in how they felt about themselves. But, and this is a big but, it's not that simple. That boost in self-worth isn't the end of the story. It's actually the fuel for a cycle of behavior that just keeps on going. The researchers basically uncovered what we can call the self-esteem engine. It's this powerful feedback loop where getting what you want only makes you want it more. Let's take a look at how it works. So here's the crucial part. Once you get that boost in self-esteem from posting and getting likes, it doesn't just satisfy you. Instead, it actually drives an even stronger desire to do the very things that gave you that boost in the first place: more social media and more traveling to create content. The study itself puts it perfectly right here. It's an endless circle. The need for validation leads to actions that give you a temporary hit of self-esteem, which in turn just creates a stronger need for more validation. It just keeps feeding itself. Okay, so we've mapped the psychology, but why is understanding this endless circle so important? What are the real-world implications of this self-esteem engine?
Well, it really boils down to this core disconnect. The goal is perfectly human. We want to feel good about ourselves, right? We're seeking validation, but the outcome is this addictive loop. We end up chasing a feeling, but we're stuck on a treadmill that requires constant engagement just to maintain it.
And you can bet this isn't just happening in a vacuum. Companies know this loop exists. The study calls it cyber marketing. All these tools you see here, influencer posts, targeted ads, all of it, they're designed to tap directly into the self-esteem engine to influence what we do and what we buy.
So that brings us to the final, really critical question. The next time you're about to post that perfect vacation shot, is that decision entirely yours? Or is it being influenced by this powerful, underlying psychological loop that the entire digital world is built to reinforce? It's definitely something to think about.